Don't judge my new background. You don't like it, it doesn't like you either. And it's vintage, okay? Welcome back to a new video of One Language, One Soul. Sorry for the background, I already explained to you in the previous video that I'm having quite a lot of problems with the lighting in the videos because, well, north of Spain and lightning is not really fitting in the same sentence. Anyways, today I'm going to talk to you about two new topics that I think that you're going to find really interesting, especially if you're an adult trying to learn a new language. These two topics are called attrition and fossilization. Anyways, first of all, I'm going to talk about attrition. Attrition is a phenomenon that it might sound a bit of scary, but once you understand it better, you'll see it's not that bad. Imagine that you have to leave your country, or you want to, and then you go to, I don't know, England or to any other country with a new language, a different language. And once you're there and you spend some time there, after a few months, you kind of start forgetting your mother tongue. That is attrition. There are recent studies in which the participant was a German girl, and then she went to Portugal, and according to that study, after 5 months of living and being immersed, remember, because being immersed is very important for this concept. If you are not immersed, obviously the results are not going to be the same, and maybe you are not going to experience attrition in the same way, or even maybe you don't experience attrition at all because you are not immersed in that new language. So according to these studies, this girl, after 5 months of being immersed and living in Portugal, started to show some effects of attrition, to have some problems with her mother tongue. It's like if Portuguese became her mother tongue. So you are more used to work in your second language, and you start thinking in your second language according to the structures of your second language. So when you want to express yourself in your mother tongue, there are some elements that you realize that they may have disappeared, even though they may have not. Another thing about attrition is that not all the linguistic areas are affected at the same time. That is, you're not going to start omitting the subject in your language at the same time that you start to confuse the marking for gender, for masculine or feminine at the same time. This is going to work in different timing and in different ways. And by the way, the subject realization or subject omission is one of the first things that get affected by attrition. And then after the first year being immersed in the new language is when the second stage of attrition takes place. Well, this second stage of attrition is more worrying than the first one, because in this study this showed that the second stage means that the participant is going to have more problems with the language. So it's kind of, you are already starting to forget, like to really forget your mother tongue, or how to express fluently, most precisely, in your mother tongue. Just to put an example, if in the first stage you are just messing with genders, I don't know, or you're messing with the subject that I mentioned, for example, if in your language you must always say the subject and the verb and then the object, like I read books. And you're affected by your second language in which you don't use the subject. You don't necessarily say it, and you start saying things like read book, because the verb already has an inflection that means that the I is already set within the verb. The second stage means that you are messing with verbs already. How to explain this? If you are messing with the little things in the first stage, the second one is like you are forgetting how to express some verbs. Like you are mixing past tense, present continuous and things like that. So it's not only that you are kind of forgetting things about your mother tongue, but also that you are mixing it with your second language. That is, you are using things about your second language and putting it in the structure of your first language. The question now is there any solution for this? Is there any way to avoid attrition? The other thing that you can do is to get a balanced amount of input. That means if you are 10 hours listening to German, then spend another 10 hours listening to your mother tongue, something like that. Now, remember that there is a second concept that I wanted to talk to you about. That concept is fossilization. This term means that when you are an adult and trying to learn a second or third or n language, you're going to get stuck at some point. That is, that you're not going to be able to go beyond some level just because you're an adult. And then you lost somehow your ability that you had as a child to learn new languages. Remember what people say, that the easiest way to understand, to learn a language is being a child? Well, they are kind of right. But there are some other studies that suggest that even though you're an adult, you can't reach a native level. But there are very few studies that support this view. Does attrition have a solution? Yeah, balance input, balance amount of quantity of both languages. Does socialization have a solution? Well, apparently not, but there are some exceptions, and well, if there are exceptions, that means that it is possible somehow, so we need some more research on that field. So now, the question is it true that the younger you start learning a language, the better? I'll leave that for another video. I hope you liked this video, I hope you learned, you enjoyed a lot, and remember to leave just your opinion. I don't know, just let me know if you are learning a language, if you find useful what I'm talking about in these videos. If you, I don't know, remember to share the video, to subscribe if you didn't, and press like if you like the video. See you in another video.